What's happening, YouTube? We're back in action today, and on this episode of Garage Noise, we're going to continue on the Chevy truck paint project where we're restoring the paint on it. We've got a lot of things going on today, a lot of information for you about primer, about bodywork, about blocking and sanding, and everything you need to know to do your own project. Now, if this is your first time here and you want to increase your knowledge and build your skill, start now by subscribing to the channel and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. Okay, so right here we have a patch panel that was put in by the customer. We're gonna repair it. It needs a little bit of body filler to get it straight. I've went over it, knocked out any high spots that need to be knocked down. We're gonna go ahead and 80 grit this on the DA and get it prepped out for some body filler. Let's do it. So I've got some Evercoat body filler mixed up with some hardener. We're going to go ahead and mix this up thoroughly so it's one uniform color. And then we're going to lay it in over these weld seams. The first thing we want to do is we don't want to let it dry fully. Because it's a larger area, we're going to use a cheese grater, and that's this right here. And what this is going to do, it's going to knock down body filler that we're not going to use. Cut it a lot quicker and get it down closer to a flat surface so we can finish sanding it with a block and some 80. This will do the job. And see how it grades it? And you want to hold it flat. You don't want to dig in too much. You just want to get rid of all that excess and block it in an X pattern, kind of, or cheese grate it in an X pattern. And this will show you, see there's a low spot there, low spot there. So it kind of helps block it, avoids all the sanding dust. Okay, so now I'm gonna knock this down real quick with some 36 grit sandpaper on my mud hog. And this is just a power tool that's gonna knock this down real quick so I can apply another layer of body filler. Okay, so now we have another coat of body filler on here. I'm gonna go over it with the mud hog with some 36 grit to knock it down quickly so we can apply a thin coat of body filler and block it smooth. Now we're going to add a guide coat and do a little block and find out if there's any low spots. Okay, so this panel is pretty straight right now. There's just a little bit of a low area on the bottom, so I need to put a little bit of filler on the bottom there as it rolls underneath, and then on the back side of this panel here, right here, we're gonna fill that. So let's put another coat on there, block it, and then this should be ready, pretty close to ready for primer. Okay, now we're going to apply a thin coat of icing just to fill in any pinholes, any scratches that we may have missed, any 36 grit scratches, and I want to smooth out this corner here. Okay, so now we have this pretty much ready for primer. I filled a couple little spots in the body filler, some pinholes and some things, and there's a little rough edge on the corner there. So we filled that. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna prep out this metal for primer. I'm gonna use 80 grit on my DA, sand any rust residue off of the vehicle, get it very clean, and get it ready for some polyester primer. Now this is all sanded for primer. What we need to do is go ahead and tape it off and get it ready to spray. So I'm going to use my 1.5 inch tape, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a piece of tape along the edge of this inside of this door, and then I'm going to fold it over and then shut the door on it so it doesn't allow any overspray in there. Let me give you a good idea of what we're doing here. And this will just keep overspray from going in that door jamb. So I take my tape, I run it down the inside edge with some hanging over. That's why I use the 1.5 inch, because it's wider and it'll fill that gap. Make sure it's clean on the edge or it won't stick properly. And then I'll be able to shut the door on it like that. No overspray can get in that jam. Okay, so I'm not going to shut it yet because I have to tape off the bottom. So let's tape off the rest of this and we'll get to priming. Okay, now let's go ahead and spray these two panels with the polyester 2K primer. Okay, so check it out. It's coming along very well. I'm really happy with how this thing is progressing. We've got this primed. Most of this vehicle primered now. We've got most of the bodywork done. We're gonna be looking for any small dents or dings as we do the blocking. I went ahead and I primed some areas on the hood where we blocked out and it was a little bit wavy. There was a little bit of warping that happened from the stripping, so we took care of that. Next step is we're gonna do some blocking on this, and we're gonna get back on the bedside and finish prepping this out for paint. So listen up, I just wanted to take a minute to thank each and every one of you, all of my subscribers, for subscribing to the channel and commenting on the content. I appreciate it. I hope this is helpful for you. I enjoy making these videos for you. And if you want to build your skill and increase your knowledge, start now by subscribing to the channel and clicking that bell so you don't miss anything. We'll see you next time.